We are now joined by Martin Truex Jr., driver of the number 78 5-Hour Energy Bass Pro Shops Toyota. Martin had a big honor this week with the ESPYs. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. It was huge honor. Really, definitely excited for that and the team to be recognized, and definitely a great list of drivers, that were up for that award. So to win it was quite a thrill for me, and definitely a big honor, and something hopefully we can use for a little motivation and keep the roll going.
Okay, we'll open the floor for questions. We'll start with Mike, then we'll go to Matthew in the front here.
Mike Hember, USA Today.
Hey, bud.
Hey. Stewart wants you guys to run on dirt at Eldora. Kyle Busch wants more short tracks. You guys are running the crazy road course at Charlotte.
Okay.
What's your kind of vision of what the schedule would look like if you were in charge?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'd be okay racing, all those different things. I'm no dirt track expert by any means, but I think it would be fun to try. Maybe we could have the All-Star race at the dirt track at Charlotte or something to try it out. Who knows? But certainly a lot of excitement around the truck race that they had this week at Eldora, and it'd be fun to try it. I don't know if it fits for what the series is or what it means, but people smarter than me could figure that out. And short tracks, I think, is a good thing. I think more short tracks will be good, but the problem is, where are they? What tracks do we go to, and is somebody going to build new ones, or are we going to change tracks? We already have 36 races, and it's going to be hard to fit more in. So, yeah, I think it's a more complicated problem than just saying we need to go here and we need to go there.
We'll stay on the left side. We're going to go Matthew, Bob, and Reed.
Matthew Werners with WWLP 22 News. Martin, people have watched you climb up through the ladder through the years. Last year you won a Cup championship, but how cool is it to see Ryan Preece, another New Englander, to climb up through the ladder racing for Joe Gibbs and get that opportunity?
Well, it's been really neat to watch, and obviously he's a great talent and has worked hard to get where he's at, and it's been good to see him have success. So, it really, what he's doing reminds me of, when I first started running down south and, running full-time in the North Series and dabbling in the, the Busch Series a bit, working on my own cars during the week, and then, going racing and a few times a year getting to go drive somebody else's car and have success. So it's been good to see what he's been able to do, and he's obviously made a name for himself. He made a name for himself up here first, but now he's showing that he can get it done anywhere with, winning at Bristol and all he's done. So, hopefully he can, kind of get more races and get a full-time deal going and extend, move his career to kind of a full-time driver status.
We'll go Bob, we'll go Reed, and then we'll go Mark.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. Were you surprised at all about the 5-hour decision, and do you worry about it, or do you feel like if Barney needs to, he'll put Furniture Row back on the hood of the car?
I don't know that I was surprised. I felt like they've been on the fence for kind of a while, and we've kind of been waiting on a decision. So I don't know that I was surprised, but I guess I wish it didn't take quite as long as it did, and kind of puts us in a tough spot now. But I'm not really worried. I mean, I think something good can come out of this. Obviously, it's not great timing with all that's going on, but I've got confidence in my team and what we're doing, and hopefully we can find a replacement for that. I don't see Barney putting Furniture Row back on the car and doing that. I don't know that he can make that work anymore. So we'll see where it goes from here, but obviously committed to the team and trying to figure out how we can continue moving forward, and hopefully there's a company out there that we can do a great job representing, and hopefully they'll come out and show their support here shortly.
Reed, Mark, and then Al.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Was it a surprise to you to win the ESPY for Driver of the Year, given the competition that you faced in that award?
Yeah, honestly, it was a big surprise. I didn't have any expectations. I thought it was cool to be nominated, and I really didn't think about it much more after that. And then Somebody actually texted me the other night and was like, "Hey, you won the ESPY." I was like, "What? Seriously?" So I was definitely really surprised, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, obviously, like I said, a great honor. A lot of great drivers on that list. So a lot of people I respect and enjoy watching, and pretty cool to be able to win that.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Martin, I was listening to you speak last week at Kentucky, and you being part of the Big Three, you talk about, sometimes I have to maybe pinch myself that we've got this rolling the way it is. For Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, they had a lot of success early in their career, and this kind of, I guess, performance maybe is a little old hat for them. For you, it's something new, and is it still new to you and still like, wow, that we're part of the Big Three?
It's such a hard question to answer. I think I haven't really thought about it much. I think a lot of people talk about it, and especially here lately, it's been a big topic of conversation. But for me, I'm just honestly living in the moment, trying to enjoy myself, but also staying focused and not taking it for granted. It's really hard to continue what we've done, and I realize how much work it takes and how many people I owe it to. So, for me, just trying to stay focused, kind of block all that out, and keep getting the job done is what's most important. Certainly been, really the last couple of years, I talk about it a lot. It's been amazing, and I don't want it to stop anytime soon. So, got to continue to work hard to stay on top, and I've got a great team, obviously, and that's what it takes at this level. You got to have every piece of the puzzle, and everybody's got to be working hard and working together, and so we have a great group, and hopefully we can continue it.
Al in the back, then we'll go to Dan and Jeff over here on the left.
Yeah, Martin, Al Pierce with Auto Week. You mentioned just a moment ago that you didn't know if Barney would want to go back on the car or could go back on the car with Furniture Row. Has the cost of racing gone that far in the last couple of years that he may not want to make the commitment now?
I don't know that it's really changed that much in the last couple of years. I think, obviously it probably, goes up a little bit each year, but I don't think it's changed drastically. I think perfect case scenario is we find somebody to replace 5 Hour and try to do it that way. I'm not sure. We haven't really had conversations about that, so I'm not sure where Barney's at, but we'll just see what comes of it.
Dan?
Dan Gelson, AP. Martin, you said last week there were still some pieces of the puzzle to put together on a contract extension. Can you move forward without a primary sponsor on that?
I think so. I think we can. Certainly makes things more difficult, but we've been talking about it, and honestly, it's it's not like we were just waiting on this to happen. It just was more of we're just trying to figure everything out. What's the best direction to go? Get all the details, and honestly, we haven't really worked that hard on it. It's been something that it's not really a pressing issue for me. I know what the team wants. I know where we're all at, and it's not like I'm nervous they're going to sign somebody else or I'm going to be searching for a ride. It's nothing like that. It's more just trying to focus on racing and feeling like it'll get done when it gets done.
We'll go Rich, and then we'll go Amy and Matthew over here on the left.
Martin over here, Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Just comment on racing on this track and what it takes to win here.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know what it takes to win here. It's been a long time. It's been since '05, so trying to figure that out. I mean, we've been so strong here the past few seasons. It's always been a really good track for me over the years, and winning K&N races here, winning Xfinity in '05, and I really want to get that Cup win because this is a special place for me. I've been coming here a long time, since I was a teenager, and this place was really a big springboard for my career. Winning here in front of the Cup and the Xfinity guys really was a big part of the reason I got an opportunity to drive cars for a living. So it's a special place for me. I really love coming up here and really just trying to figure out how to get that Cup win. Led the most laps a few times in this race the last few seasons, and it seems like the last 75 or so we've not been able to somehow be in the front. So try to figure that out this weekend. Hopefully it's time.
Amy Harrop, Race Pro Weekly. Toyota's on a hot streak right now, so they've won four of the last races, including your win last week. How does it feel to be a part of that, such a strong team of drivers there. And what do you think gives Toyota the edge over other manufacturers in the sport?
Well, it's definitely a great team to be part of. Toyota does so much for the teams, for us. It's their passion for racing and what they put into the Cup Series it's amazing, and it's really cool to be a part of that. So yeah, I mean, the last couple of years our cars have been really good, and they've done a great job with on the engine side of giving us what we need and reliability and everything that comes with that. So it's been unbelievable. They're great supporters. I think if you look at it as a whole, great drivers, great race cars, and as I mentioned earlier, it takes all those puzzle pieces in the right spot and working together to make it happen. So for whatever reason, this has been a good track for that group, and we've definitely benefited from that in learning how to make our cars be good at this racetrack. So being part of that team and having cars from JGR and all that, it's definitely been a big bonus for us at this racetrack.
Matthew in the front.
Matthew Ernest with WWLP 22 News. Martin, I know there's only one race here now, and you've come so close, but how crucial is it, do you think, to win here this weekend?
Well, I don't know that it's crucial for our team or our season, but I think for me it's such a big one. It's one I want so bad. Winning here would be, for me, like winning at Daytona. I mean, it truly is. So just see if we can get it done. I know the team's fired up and ready to go and worked hard to be prepared to come here like they always do, and they're excited and optimistic. So that always makes me feel good and feel like we'll have a shot at it. And certainly we have a lot of momentum right now, so hopefully we can take advantage of it.
Gentleman here in the front. Right here in front.
Nicholas Tito, YankeeRacer.com. Martin, I know that obviously Sherry's gone through a lot with her cancer treatments, and your foundation's done a lot in working with pediatric cancer and trying to improve their situation. You just talk about when something like that, it touches you and you try to give back to that community, like the $1 million donation you guys had a couple of months ago in Charlotte?
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing to be able to be a part of that. And, honestly, when we started the foundation, it was just trying to do good and give back and help people. And it's since just become a part of our lives, a lot because of what Sherry's been through, but a lot because of the families we've met and got to kind of see the impact we've been able to make. And, I think we're surprised all the time at just how big of an impact we can make. So we've got some more events coming up and a lot of big news coming. We're working on some big projects, and hopefully we can continue to make a difference. And without the NASCAR fans and really everybody in the industry pitching in, it would be impossible. So a lot of people around here do a lot of good, and it's really neat to be a part of that.
Mark, go ahead.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Mark, you mentioned a moment ago about how many laps you've led here, but not there at the end. In my head, I'm just thinking of the notes that I made this week. Like over 500 laps in the last 4 out of 5 races. I mean, when you think of that, you go like, how in the world did I not win if I led that many laps?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was July or the second race last year. We won the first stage and we were leading the second stage, coming to one to go, and we got caught up in that wreck on the backstretch. And then we battled back all day, and I think we ended up finishing 4th or something. So it's just been one of those deals where just wrong place, wrong time sometimes, and for whatever reason, it's just been a tough one for us to get. We've certainly performed well enough and been fast enough, as you mentioned. So, sometimes the biggest ones are the hardest ones, and I guess, for me, this is a big one. So it's been difficult, but, look forward to the challenge this weekend of trying to finish the deal.
Go ahead.
Hi, Terrell Covey with the Portsmouth Herald. You mentioned this place being a springboard for you. We talked a little bit about Ryan Preece earlier, who's had some success here. What advice would you have for young drivers who are out there at practice right now in this modified group in terms of parlaying success this weekend and at this track into a further opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it's just about timing. Some of it's luck. You work hard, you race hard, and you try to do the right things on the racetrack, and hopefully, somebody will step in and help you out. I mean, for me, that's how it worked. I know today maybe it's a little bit different. It's a little bit harder, I would say, to parlay that short track or that touring series success into the next level. It's definitely harder today than it's ever been, but for those guys, I mean, at least for me when I raced, I never even thought about, getting hired to drive race cars. Honestly, I was just racing and loving what I was doing and working at the shop and being around a cool group of guys to just try to win races and have fun. Honestly, that's what I did, and it just caught me by surprise when I heard, people were starting to talk and people were talking about maybe giving me a shot to drive their cars and things like that. So, yeah, it was. I guess I was a little bit naive at the time, or it wasn't really on my radar. I just went racing and had a good time with it.
We'll wrap up with Dan.
Dan Gelson, AP. Martin, what, if anything, does it say about the state of sponsorship that 5 Hours stayed after Richmond but is leaving after a championship?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of things go into those decisions. I don't know a ton about their business and how it's doing or anything like that. Obviously, you'd think that with the success we've had and kind of how the last 2 years for us have went, that certainly we delivered on our end of the deal. We gave them a lot of exposure, but a lot of value in their sponsorship. But you never know the reasons why people like that want to go do something different or maybe advertise less in general. It's hard to say. So I'm not going to make assumptions. I don't know the reasoning. I just know for us, it's something that we have to overcome.
How come you didn't go to L.A.?
I'm sorry? L.A.? As far as I know, I didn't get an invite. I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, I went fishing, so I was up out at the Cape yesterday fishing with some family. So.
Last question in the back.
Mike Cronin, WMUR. Martin, how competitive is this track, and does your approach change at all when you come to New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Yeah,
it's a very competitive track, very difficult track. We know it's flat and it's somewhat of a short track at 1 mile, but difficult to pass, and it's really changed a lot, especially since last year when they started using the VHT traction compound. So it's totally changed the way we race here. It's changed the setup quite a bit, and really the approach through the weekend has changed a lot from what it used to be before they started using that. So I think a lot of people are still trying to figure it out. I felt like we have a pretty good feel on what we need to do this weekend, but the hard part about the VHT is it's ever changing. You never know what you're going to get, especially Saturday after the modified race, and they reapply the stuff usually Sunday morning, and sometimes it's a little bit different. So it's a challenging weekend from that aspect, with a lot of different cars on the track, a lot of laps being run, and that VHT wearing out and getting reapplied, and how that affects your car, and the changes you have to make to kind of keep it underneath you.
Thanks for your time, Martin.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck this weekend.